Hey guys, Ralph from Alot Films here, and today I thought I'd just bring you a bit of a special video because I got this in the mail today. So this is basically the Rubies E-11 Stormtrooper blaster from Star Wars A New Hope, and I think Empire Strikes Back 2. But basically at the moment it looks pretty poo, and for the price, I mean, I paid $25 Australian dollars, which isn't something you'd expect. Well, I mean, it's actually not too bad considering what it actually is, but it can have a lot of improvement. I mean, with a new paint job and a couple like mods here and there, I think I can get this looking like, I wouldn't say movie quality, but I'd say pretty nice prop collecting standpoint. I mean, as you can probably tell by my my new set up the back here, I've got some pretty nice props that I've just painted up, and then a lot of them are just like things like this. I think the D-11 Han Solo blaster is actually Rubies as well. But yeah, basically, I'll do some commentary about what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So one of the first modifications I wanted to make to the gun was, of course, opening up these vents here. Since they went to the trouble of like molding them, I thought I might as well drill them out and actually make them hollow. So one of the next things I'm using is this stuff called Knead It. That's basically this sort of putty that you use and you mix up together. You snip off a bit like that. And basically, since it already has the catalyst inbuilt into the putty, you basically just keep fiddling with this until you eventually mix it together. And it actually starts to set in about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's completely ready to sand in 1 hour. So you gotta work quick with this. So basically I'm just using it to fill in all the actual nail holes of the actual gun, just so it looks a little bit more smooth and doesn't look a little bit more tacky. This is actually a chunk of the Knead It that didn't actually end up being used, and that is rock solid. It took an hour to set. So now I'm basically just getting a little hand sander and sanding off all the other legal bullshit that's already on the gun. I'm also trying to sand away all the seams, and as well as just sanding away all the little extra bits of the Knead It that I didn't really need. Need it that didn't get it. So then basically from there, I'm basically just opening up the rest of the holes of the vents of the gun. Because the drill, I didn't actually want to try and get it precise as possible. I thought it'd just be a lot easier to get a hole that's actually just big enough to get the hand sander in there and just open up the hole. I know the holes aren't exactly like straight or anything like that, but I think it's as good as it's gonna get, to be honest. So again, I'm just basically just smoothing up the gun a bit more there with some hand sanding. Trying to get away those bloody seams, even though in the end I can still like clearly see them, which is a little bit bloody annoying. So from here, because the sander is a little bit messy, I'm just going in with an X-Acto knife and trying to clean up some of the edges on the inside. So this is just the first priming coat for the actual gun itself. And then on to the second coat of paint, which I will go on to say at the end was an extremely bad idea. Don't mix different brands of paint, because as I found out, unfortunately, the two paints I used had 2 different cure times. The first coat of primer had a little bit longer to set than I thought it would. So then here's the, this is a paint pen that I'm just trying to use because I'm lazy, as I've already established. I didn't really want to paint with chrome because the only other paint chrome that I had was the spray paint, and so that ended up looking really messy as well. So then I'm just going in with a bit of silver acrylic paint and just going in and just working on all those distressing details for it. Which ended up looking quite good, I thought, in the end. So in the end, the look I was going for is kind of a distressed sort of Stormtrooper blaster that's been used in some sort of combat. I wasn't really trying to go for any sort of specific look from whatever movie. I know in some blasters, I think from Empire Strikes Back, because there's a heap of different versions of props, and some of the original ones look super bare compared to stuff like this. But there's actually a wire pack that comes from here and then sits on top of the magazine here. I might go and then do that eventually. I don't know, I just can't really find anything to do it with. I mean, I could 3D print it, but my 3D printer isn't working at the moment. I might just get someone else to do it for me. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out for what it cost. The only thing I'm not too happy with was kind of the, I mean, you can't really tell on camera, which is alright thing, I guess. This here, the paint and didn't really adhere, so I ended up just using some silver acrylic instead. As well as the paint that I used for this gun, it actually turned out that it was a 4-hour set time to 4 days, which really fucked me, and I didn't actually realize it because the paint I usually use is in 1 hour set time to a day cure. So that totally fucked me, and it led to a heap of cracking, but I just ended up sealing up that with some acrylic paint anyway, and since that dries matte, I can't fix it anyway. The bogan thing here, I actually do have some acrylic sheeting that I will eventually cut up. I just unfortunately don't have the tools to do it at the moment, so then I can put it up with the rest of my blasters and other props up there. If you did enjoy this sort of thing, please let me know in the comments below. I do have some other videos of this sort of content, please click here. I've got a customization of Rey's blaster up there from The Force Awakens that I had 3D printed. Please be sure to subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff.